In the 1970s, America was haunted by a name whispered in fear: Ted Bundy, charismatic, intelligent, and seemingly ordinary. But beneath that charm lurked one of the most notorious serial killers in history. Over the next 15 minutes, we will explore the life, crimes, and terrifying psychology of a man who deceived the world and preyed on the innocent. Ted Bundy was born in 1946 in Burlington, Vermont. Raised by his grandparents, he was told his mother was his sister, a lie that would shape his perception of the world and relationships. From a young age, Bundy exhibited manipulative behavior, lying and deceiving with ease. Many who knew him described him as charming, intelligent, and polite, a mark he would perfect for the crimes to come. The beginning of the killings, how it all began. In the mid 1970s, Bundy crimes began. He would approach young women in public places, often feigning injury or pretending to be an authority figure, gaining their trust before abducting them. These early crimes often went unnoticed, and the pattern of terror continued. He targeted a woman who resembled someone from his past, a haunting glimpse into his disturbed mind. Bundy's method was meticulous. He relied on deception, charm, and planning. He lured victims into his car, drove them to isolated locations, and attacked. He would sometimes revisit crime scenes, even moving bodies to avoid detection. This calculated behavior showcased not only his cunning, but the horrifying confidence he had in evading law enforcement. As his crimes escalated, so did his boldness. Bundy's spree spread across multiple states: Washington, Colorado, and Florida. Arrests came, but Bundy was elusive. He famously escaped from custody twice, once from a courthouse library and later from jail. During these escapes, he continued his attacks, showing a terrifying disregard for authority and human life. In 1978, Bundy was captured in Florida. His trial was televised, and the nation watched in shock as a man who had seemed so ordinary revealed the depth of his depravity. Bundy acted as his own attorney, showcasing his manipulative nature one last time. Testimonies from survivors and law enforcement painted a picture of a calculated predator, a man who would smile in court while recounting horrific acts. Psychologists would later describe Bundy as the embodiment of a psychopath: superficial charm, manipulativeness, lack of empathy, and an uncanny ability to hide his true self. His case changed criminal profiling and highlighted the dangers of underestimating outwardly normal individuals. Bundy left behind a chilling legacy, one that continues to haunt true crime studies today. The first confirmed disappearances began in 1974, though Bundy may have killed way earlier. In January of that year, 21-year-old Linda Ann Haley vanished from her basement in Seattle. She had been studying psychology at the University of Washington. Police found her bed carefully made, but bloodstains on her pillow, and a nightgown told a different story. What might have happened? Over the following months, young women continued to disappear throughout Washington and Oregon. The victims shared striking similarities. They were young, attractive, and had long dark hair, parted in the middle. Their names were Karen Sparks, Donna Manson, Susan Rancourt, Roberta Parks, Brenda Ball, and Georgian Hawkins. All vanished without a trace. What police didn't realize was that a pattern was emerging. The disappearances often occurred near college campuses. Several witnesses reported seeing a handsome young man with his arm in a sling asking for help, carrying books or loading the items into his Volkswagen Beetle. This man was very polite, clean-cut, and non-threatening. He played on people's natural inclination to help someone in need. So Bundy became bolder. In broad daylight and in front of thousands of witnesses, he approached young women, introduced himself as Ted. He asked for help with his sailboat, claiming his arm was injured. Janice Ott agreed to help him. She was never seen alive again. Hours later, Dennis Nasland also disappeared from the same park. Witnesses provided descriptions and even a name, Ted. They described his Volkswagen Beetle. Police sketches were circulated, but Ted was a common name, and Volkswagen Beetles were everywhere in the Pacific Northwest. The killer remained elusive. In July 1979, Bundy was convicted of the three Omega murders and sentenced to death in 1980. He was convicted of the murder of Kimberly Leach and received a second death sentence. Despite numerous appeals over the next decade, the conviction stood. During his years on death row, Bundy finally began confessing to his crimes. He admitted to 30 murders across 7 states, though investigators believe the true number was likely higher than that. He provided details about the victims and crime scenes, offering information that was the only plea deal he'd had. If you are fascinated by criminal psychology and want to understand the minds of history's most dangerous individuals. Make sure to follow and share this channel. We dive deep into cases that change criminal investigation forever.